Alright, it's been 3 whole months since the Samsung Galaxy S25 Ultra dropped and the hype has finally cooled down. So the big question is, was it worth it? Was all the buzz legit or just launch day energy? If you're someone who didn't pre-order, didn't rush in, and waited to see how it actually holds up in the real world, you are in the right place. This is my 3 month review of the Galaxy S25 Ultra and it's gonna be honest, in-depth, and yeah, just a little spicy. So let's start with the design. Samsung stuck with their signature Ultra vibe, flat edge, a boxy silhouette, and those individual cut camera rings. Not gonna lie, the design still screams premium, but if you have held the S24 Ultra, you will feel like you have done this before. What's new? Well, the titanium frame is still here, but this year it's a bit more polished, literally. It's slightly less slippery, and dare I say, a bit more grippy. Weight distribution's better too. Still feels big in hand, but it's no longer a mini brick. Plus, it survived a few accidental drops with no panic attacks, so props to the durability. Next up, that display. And honestly, Samsung's still flexing on everyone. You get a 6.8-inch QHD plus AMOLED 2X display, 1 to 20 Hz adaptive refresh, and peak brightness of 2600 nits. Outdoors, no squinting. Indoors, silky smooth. The bezels are almost non-existent now, and the flat screen, still a hot topic, has grown on me. Curves are gone, but in exchange you get fewer mistouches and better screen protectors. Watching YouTube, gaming, doom scrolling, it's an absolute visual treat. Now let's talk performance, and yes, it's as fast as you would expect. They've got the Snapdragon 8 Elite for Galaxy, a custom-tuned beast paired with 12 GB RAM and up to 1 TB storage. Everyday usage, smooth. Heavy multitasking, easy. Gaming, I've thrown PUBG, Asphalt, even some emulators at it, and this thing doesn't flinch. Samsung also improved thermal management this year. It runs cooler during long sessions, which is a big win for power users. One little note though, One UI 7.1 still has its quirks. It's feature rich, sure, but sometimes it feels like it's doing too much. Still the 7 years of promised updates, that's clutch. Alright, now to the part everyone's curious about. The camera setup on the S25 Ultra, and yep, the 200 megapixel main sensor is still the star of the show. This lens has seen some serious improvements over the past year. In good lighting, it captures crazy detail, like zoom in and read text on a sign, kind of detail. Dynamic range is excellent, shadows don't get crushed, and highlights are well balanced. Night shots have also gotten noticeably better, less noise, sharper edges, and more natural colors without that overprocessed look. Then you've got the 12 megapixel ultra wide lens. It's reliable, captures a wide field of view with minimal distortion, and keeps color consistent with the main sensor. Great for landscapes, group shots, or even creative low-angle city snaps. Now the big change. Samsung ditched the old 10x zoom lens and replaced it with 50 megapixel periscope telephoto lens that does 5x optical zoom. At first, people weren't sure if that was a downgrade, but after testing it, turns out the move actually makes more sense. The 5x zoom is more practical for everyday use, and even at 10x digital, the results are sharp and very usable. Portraits at 3x and 5x also look fantastic. Clean edge detection, natural depth blur, and great skin tones. And for video, you're looking at 4K 60 FPS on all cameras, with Super HDR kicking in to give richer contrast and more detail across shadows and highlights. Stabilization is top tier, and whether you are vlogging, filming, B-roll, or just shooting your cat at the park, the footage looks flagship grade. Battery life still solid. 5000 milliamps is enough to comfortably get you through full day. Even with heavy use, I'm getting around 6 to 6.5 hours of screen on time, which is good, but it's not a game changer. Now on the charging, and this is where things feel a little outdated. You get a 45-watt wired charging, which isn't terrible, but let's be real. Some competitors are pushing 80 watts, 100 watt, even 120 watt, and Samsung's playing it safe. Plus the classic Samsung move, no charger in the box, just the cable. Wireless charging and reverse wireless charging are still here and work fine. But yeah, for a phone this expensive, charging could have been faster and more convenient. Let's talk about the S Pen, and yeah, this one's a bit curveball. Physically, it's still the same, responsive, low latency, great for note taking, sketching, and precise edits. But here's the thing, Samsung quietly removed Bluetooth support this year. That means no more air actions, no remote camera shutter, and no flipping sides from a distance. For some, that's a deal breaker. For others, especially for those who barely use the feature, it's no biggie. Still, it's a downgrade. It's worth knowing before you drop ultra money on it. Now let's talk about the biggest flex of the S25 Ultra. Galaxy AI. Yeah, every phone's throwing around the AI buzzword in 2025, but Samsung's actually doing some real next level stuff here. First off, photo editing. This thing doesn't just remove backgrounds, it does it cleanly. And if half of your face is covered, it can rebuild your full face with shockingly accurate detail. Kinda scary, but mostly impressive. There's also cross app intelligence, like you can search for restaurants, pick your favorites, and send the whole list in a message without even switching apps. That's some legit time saving magic. The S Pen even has a sauce now. You can sketch something basic and it will generate a full AI powered image from your scribble. Perfect if you have got ideas but no art skills. Then there's Now Brief. It reads what's on your screen and gives you summarized version, long articles, emails, instant TLDR. Google Gemini is also baked right in. Press and hold the power button and boom, you are chatting with Gemini like it's your personal assistant. And of course, Circle to Search got a serious glow up. It's more accurate, faster, and understands context way better now. Just circle anything and you will get results instantly. No need to screenshot and bounce between apps. Overall, Samsung's not just using AI for hype, it's actually helping you get stuff done faster and smarter. Let's not forget little things that make the overall experience smoother. The S25 Ultra comes with an IP68 rating, so it's fully water and dust resistant. You won't have to worry about accidental splashes or bit of rain. The display is protected by Gorilla Armor glass, which adds an extra layer of durability while reducing reflection and scratches. Connectivity wise, you're getting support for Wi-Fi 7 and ultra wideband, which means faster wireless speeds and better device tracking. The haptics feel crisp and responsive, giving that premium feedback with every tap. And the dual stereo speakers, loud, clear, and balanced, easily one of the best in the Android space. So, 3 months later, where does the S25 Ultra stand? It's not a revolutionary upgrade, but it's a refined flagship powerhouse. You're getting a top tier performance, one of the best displays in the game, a super capable camera system, and solid battery life. But what really sets it apart now is AI. From insane photo editing to cross app actions, S Pen image generation, and Circle to Search that actually works well, Samsung's not just sprinkling AI, it's integrating it smartly. It feels natural, useful, and genuinely time saving. Sure, the S Pen's downgrade, 45-watt charging, and missing charger in the box are things to consider, but if you want a phone that feels futuristic and already lives in 2025, this is the Ultra to beat. If you are on an older device, this is a no-brainer. And if you are holding an S24 Ultra, the AI features alone might be worth the upgrade. Alright, that's a wrap on the 3-month review. If you found this video helpful, hit that like button, maybe subscribe if you're feeling nice, and let me know in the comments, are you Team Ultra or are you eyeing something else this year? Catch you in the next one, fam.